We're back, everybody.
We're back.
Happy 2022. It's us, the Spiritual Gaze. We're here with your weekly Cosmic Tarot forecast. Did you miss us?
Yeah, you can tell us. It's okay.
We missed you. There's a lot going on this week, and it's to encourage us to slow down, to stay put, to not feel like just because it's a new year, we have to light a fire under ourselves and rush off to climb whatever mountain Capricorn season wants us to climb.
Now, can we actually just take a deep breath together right now?
That sounds lovely.
Let's all take a breath together.
That felt gorgeous.
Right? That's a good way to start your week off.
It's a good way to start your life off, honey. So Venus is retrograde. She's going to be retrograde for a little bit longer, inviting us to reevaluate, renew, and release relationships, concepts of value, and even the way that we partner with our own value. Yeah. You might start to realize that there are things you've been giving value to that actually aren't really that valuable. And that could be people, that could also be places and things, even the ways in which you relate to like your own work or the things that you're monetizing, right, because Venus rules money as well.
Also, have you had any, ghosts of the past resurface? Have you been a ghost of someone's past who's resurfaced?
Boo!
Yeah, are you just maybe thinking about people you haven't connected with in a while and realizing like, oh, right, that person actually is really meaningful to me. I should reach out to them. And if you are feeling that, you definitely should connect with those folks because there's some gold there to be had.
Yeah, you can be a friendly ghost.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
The big news of the week is our very first Mercury Retrograde of 2022 happening on the 14th, which I believe is Friday. Mm-hmm. And we talked about Mercury Retrograde a little bit in our latest podcast, which will drop on Thursday, which is doing a little bit of a deep dive into the astrology of 2022. But the unique flavor of the Mercury Retrogrades this year are that they straddle signs. They start in air signs and they move back into earth signs. So it's Mercury retrograding from Aquarius back into Capricorn.
Yeah, right at 10 degrees Aquarius. So just recognizing where you might have 10 degrees Aquarius in your chart and knowing that that's going to be the pivot point for you. That's going to be the entryway, whatever house it's in. That area of your life wants some reevaluation, some reapproach.
So the way I'm approaching January, just in general, with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, is I'm really trying to give myself permission to move slowly and to nourish myself from the inside out, because that is the invitation of winter. Apologies to our Southern Hemisphere gazers. But for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's time to turn inwards. It's time to move slowly. And so knowing that Mercury is going to be retrograde until February 4th means that you can take this month as much as you possibly can to move slowly, to not feel like you have to assert yourself, that you have to launch projects or launch your goals out into orbit. Just let yourself marinate on them. Let yourself reconsider them, reevaluate them, knowing full well that Mercury retrograde in an air sign like Aquarius is going to give us all those classic Mercury retrograde cliches, miscommunication, people thinking you said something when you didn't, dropped calls, technology issues. And then moving back into earth signs, it's going to be a little bit of issues around implementation, right? Because Mercury in an earth sign wants to get shit done, wants to think about strategy, and retrograde means that we maybe have some issues with strategy. The initial strategy isn't necessarily panning out the way that we thought it was, so we have to reevaluate based on circumstantial change. And goddess knows we've got a lot of circumstantial change right now, yeah? So don't get too caught up into the future, take it day by day. And knowing that Mercury and Venus are retrograde, these personal planets that affect us so deeply and intimately, knowing that they're moving backwards means that we too get to move backwards a little bit. We too get to be still and quiet. I highly encourage a meditation practice, a stillness practice, a nap practice.
Yeah. But look, if you do have to make decisions or find yourself needing to have some forward movement in something in your life, don't be afraid. Don't feel like, oh no, I'm supposed to not be doing anything right now. Like, it's okay. Just making sure that you are really making a choice from, like a deeply meaningful place, that you are really considering all the factors. And I think because it's Aquarius, making sure too that like, you're finding the most innovative way of moving forward, or you're making sure that whatever decision you're making really does connect to the most authentic part of yourself.
Yeah, Aquarius lets your freak flag fly. So if you're making decisions, make some freaky decisions.
Yeah, and let other people see your freaky side too.
Yeah. The good news is once Mercury is direct and Venus is direct, we've got all the planets direct. So come early February, the wind will be at your back, not at your front. And that's what you want. So if you're not feeling momentum right now, it's okay to not try to manufacture it. It's okay to gather yourself up and wait for the wind to press you forwards in the right direction.
Yeah.
The card that we've pulled for this week is the Nine of Cups. And we had a question come in from one of you gorgeous gazers in terms of asking about the astrology of 2022. And the question was, what's the best that could happen? And we fucking loved that question.
Yeah, that's so good.
And it makes me think of the Nine of Cups, because the Nine of Cups is the best that could possibly happen. The Nine of Cups is making a wish and allowing it to come true. And it's very easy in Capricorn season to focus on the problems, to fall in love with the problems, to be pessimistic and cynical and only notice everything that's falling apart, as opposed to noticing the things that are working, as opposed to noticing what dreams might be wanting to visit you. We've got Jupiter in Pisces for the next 4.5 months. It's gorgeous. It's an opportunity to reconnect with your deeper spiritual vision, to connect to optimism. And so the Nine of Cups is giving you the opportunity to make some wishes, to figure out, like, what is the wish that you want for your life? Think about self-fulfillment at all costs. Ignore circumstances for a moment. Ignore society and culture for a moment. Drop into the depths of your heart, cups, the heart, and ask yourself, what would satisfy me in all realms, in all ways? And that's the best that could possibly happen. Because if you don't know what you want, how can the universe make it come true for you?
Yeah, so true.
So the stillness helps you to drop into the chamber of your heart and to get clear on what it actually wants. And with that information, you can scatter it like seeds, and the universe can water it and help it to grow. We've got breath work this Saturday to help us reach out to that full moon in Capricorn that'll be happening on Monday, so you might consider joining us for that.
Yeah.
We've got a Spirit World Circle next Wednesday if you want to help reach into the invisible realms to give yourself some support, some guidance, especially with Jupiter in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. It's been for the last decade. Any sort of altered state work will really be particularly powerful. So looking forward to that. And then on Thursday, babies, it's going to be Aquarius season before we know it. So It's our Astro Club for Aquarius season. Consider joining us for all these things and more.
Yeah, you can find out all of the info at our website, spiritualgaze.com.
And look out for our podcast to drop on late Wednesday night. You'll wake up and have it in your box on Thursday morning. And until then, take care of yourself.